What is your experience with God?
God is like space. Either you're conscious of it or you're not aware of it.
Is there a physical form of God?
Does your mind has a shape? No. So when your spirit does not have form, shape, color and all that, that universal spirit which is encompassing the entire universe is like that only.
If stress were a person and you had to give it life advice, what would you tell it?
There is a grave waiting for you, go there quickly.
I'd like to pivot our conversation to where Art of Living started. I'm sure many interviewers would have asked you about how it started, etc., etc. But I'm curious about one aspect of Art of Living. When you started, was it a spiritual enterprise, or was it a social enterprise, or was it something so personal to you that you founded this in 1981?
Two gentlemen of this country, most respected people. One is Justice V.R. Krishnaiyer, who was a proclaimed atheist, and then a most believer, a staunch believer like P.N. Bhagwati. They both came to me and they said, Gurudev, what you are teaching is priceless. It's a beautiful picture, but it needs a frame. So we will make the frame. So they became the founder trustees and they created the trust, which today is known as Art of Living.
मातृ देवो भव, पितृ देवो भव, आचार्य देवो भव, अतिथि देवो भव.
Welcome to Lighten. Today we are at the global headquarters of Art of Living, Sri Gurudev Ravi Shankar's ashram. This is indeed a magical place that has created such a huge impact across 180 countries, impacting 800 million people. Can you ever think of one individual who can have that kind of reach in terms of social, economic, mental, and healthcare impact that Art of Living has made across the globe? And I'm so excited to have you all with me here today for the podcast with none other than this great spiritual leader who combines education, spirituality, and practical wisdom, and the ability to make peace across the globe and promote peace between nations. This is a great opportunity. I'm so honored. I'm really happy to be here. This is the podcast of Light to Lighten in 2025. Stay tuned and you will walk away with tremendous lessons for entrepreneurship as well, to combine spirituality with social impact and commercial success. Here we go. I can't wait to meet Sri Ravi Shankar. We welcome Gurudev. I wanted to seek your blessings for our podcast, Light to Lighten, and thank you so much. Incidentally, we're doing this during the Thanksgiving week. It's my honor personally to thank you for everything you have done. I've attended many satsangs in the past in the US, and every time I attend a satsang, I go back home very peaceful. There's a calming effect. I read that book, Sri as I know, and the miracles that I mentioned there are actually real. And we all have experiences. I'm sure everyone has experiences that we can relate to. And I wanted to thank you on my behalf, on the behalf of my family, and on behalf of everyone in the world for the impact you're making on each individual's life. Having said that, there's something unique about Art of Living. There is that smile. Anyone associated with Art of Living, there's that smile. And as soon as we entered the campus, we started smiling. It's so contagious, and we have never seen you without a smile. And anyone associated with Art of Living, what is the secret behind that smile?
See, if you say the candle, how can the candle lit candle be without a light? Like that, our spirit by nature has a smile. When you are content, smile is a natural thing that comes out of it. You watch any baby, when their basic needs are fulfilled, they are smiling all the time. So, this ability is with everybody, but due to stress and lack of understanding or lack of the true vision of who we are, we lose it. That's it.
Sure. You said contentment leads to smile, right? And contentment is the most challenging, quality to acquire in this world. I'm sure you would have spoken about it many times, but for the benefit of our audience, can you define contentment? How do I seek and be sure that I'm contented?
See, something that you know on a daily basis. You don't need a definition. You are hungry, you have food. At some point you experience contentment. You have had a nice, good sleep in the night. You feel contented. You don't look again for a pillow to lie down, right? Yeah. So when you're thirsty, when your thirst is quenched, you know there is contentment in small ways. It is in your life throughout. And when you see life from a bigger perspective and feel contented, then that counters the frustration that creeps in due to ambitions and hearing from other people that you need to do that and this and that. Yeah.
Great. I also wanted to ask you out of curiosity, several people I meet all over the world think you're God or you're very near to God, probably closest to God. And there's also a perception that you're spoken to God. And I wanted you to kind of share those experiences of what is your experience with God?
See, God, we must understand what you mean by speaking to God. When you see God somewhere out there, up there, and you're trying to speak to Him, that is your own mind bringing a dialogue with yourself. So I would say, if God is love, it's everywhere. And you are that. You are part of it. You can never be, even if you want, you can never go out of God. It's like the space. The ancient scriptures also authentify this. They say God is like space and you have no escape from it. So it's everywhere. You have to be in it only. Either you're conscious of it or you're not aware of it.
Is there a physical form of God you relate to?
Every form in the world is of God.
Right.
See, I ask you a simple question. Does your mind has a form? Does your mind has a color? Does your mind has a shape? No. So when your spirit does not have form, shape, color and all that universal spirit which is encompassing the entire universe is like that only. It is all pervading. But you can see it in any form, every form.
You see God in so many forms, and which is why you're Gurudev, and there's so much to learn from you. I'd like to pivot a conversation to where Art of Living started. I'm sure many interviewers would have asked you about how it started, etc., etc. But I'm curious about one aspect of Art of Living. When you started, was it a spiritual enterprise, or was it a social enterprise, or was it something so personal to you that you founded this in 1981?
Well, 45 years back, this idea came to me, what I know I should share with everybody. Then I started sharing. Then the movement developed. I never planned to have a global movement, this and that organization, no. In fact, it's very interesting, two gentlemen of this country, most respected people. One is Justice V.R. Krishna here, who was a proclaimed atheist, and then a most believer, a staunch believer like P.N. Bhagwati. They both came to me and they said, Gurudev, what you are teaching is priceless. It's a beautiful picture, but it needs a frame.
Right.
So we will make the frame. So they became the founder trustees and they created the trust, which today is known as Art of Living. Those days it is Ved Vigyan Mahavidya here in Bangalore. And from that it started.
Absolutely. Today, Art of Living is a phenomenon. I think it is the solution for
Yeah, we
peaceful
had
living.
many names. When I just start the programs, people thought it is healing them so much. So some people call it Healing Breath Workshop. Others call it, upliftment of human spirit, Vyakti Vikas. So, but then yoga and meditation had a lot of taboo in those days.
True.
45 years ago, if you say yoga, then people will imagine someone with all ashes in the body standing in 1 feet in the Himalayas or in Allahabad. That was the concept. They used to think it's not for me. Especially youngsters would think Vedanta yoga is all for senior citizens. I have nothing much to do. So Art of Living appealed to people and it created the curiosity. Let me see what it is.
Absolutely. Now that you've created this sensation about yoga and meditation, not sensation, but it's like a movement, and you've taken it to a totally different level all over the world. Do you see yoga and meditation to be the next best thing to happen in terms of business sectors like healthcare and biotechnology?
Of course. We used to think life is all in different compartments.
Right.
But today, fortunately, that has changed. People now see, wellness is part of the corporate system now.
Correct.
And it helps in the productivity. They have seen there are evidence-based research which shows how yoga, meditation helps people to be more productive.
Right.
And more good it betters them being in their communication, in their expression, in their creativity. So a lot of credit has been given to these disciplines now. You could never imagine 40 years back that a car company would ask people to sit, would advertise someone sitting in meditation. It is as a comfort and relaxation. You could never think about it. And today that's happening.
No, that is thanks to you. Absolutely. And thanks for giving us Sudarshan Kriya. And this is so therapeutic. I think you'd rather do Sudarshan Kriya than go to a doctor to check your BP and pulse. And it has such a profound effect. It's amazing. Moving on to the entrepreneurship factor. Today, entrepreneurship is not just about making money, but this consciousness about social impact. And I think businessmen at all levels, the big corporates and the startups, are trying to combine social impact and commercial viability. But what most of the companies are missing, or most of the business domain is missing, is the spiritual angle to combine these two. Right? And in our journey with companies, we come across conflicting goals. And for example, it's a healthcare company. Now, will they make profits or will they cure patients? And it's a classic conflict that's going on. What's your message to entrepreneurs, especially the startups who don't have the bandwidth of capital? How do they balance social impact and commercial goals?
See, I wouldn't expect much from the startups. First, they should stand on their feet. It's like telling a crawling kid to carry a bag.
Sure.
A child is still crawling, it's not even standing up. And you can't hand over a bag, oh, hey, you carry this bag. That's not possible. But what I would say is, there is something called ethics.
Right.
That they should not miss out. Nobody is outside the purview of ethics, whether you are a startup or you are a successful company. Ethics, to define in a very simple manner, you don't do what you don't expect. You don't do those things to your customers what you don't want your vendors to do to you.
True.
You know, a startup has a vendor and a customer. If a startup gets cheated by his vendor, he doesn't like it. So he shouldn't cheat his customer too. So that basic ethics when one has, then it is okay. Now, second thing the entrepreneurs would need is focus of mind. They cannot just have their mind all over the place and think of 101 things and then every day getting new ideas, but not every idea is really, functional.
True.
So when they get an idea, focus to the end, move on to that second. So clarity in mind. And how will meditation help? Definitely it helps. It also improves your intuitive ability. Intuition is a big gift that everyone possesses it and very few uses it. Those who use the intuition, they are successful. So better use the intuitive ability. And then innovative spirit. You cannot just sit with something and think you have done it.
Right.
There is always a chance to improve it, keep innovating more things. So, innovative spirit, intuitive ability, clarity of mind, these are the most important thing that needs for an entrepreneur. And top of this, good human communication system. If an entrepreneur has all this and he's a bad communicator, everything goes for a toss. It cannot be successful. Good communication ability. So meditation can improve in all these areas.
Absolutely. I was watching one of your talks when you mentioned about World Bank president asking you, how is it that Art of Living, all the projects are successful, but World Bank has trillions of dollars, but they have hundreds of failed projects. Can you share some more light on that? There is a very interesting dimension there.
It's not just the money which brings success, there's something
Absolutely.
more to it.
Wonderful. So in your journey, you've created such a huge social impact. How do you prioritize projects? I'm sure there are thousands of projects that could come to Art of Living. How do you prioritize and how do you measure the impact Art of Living is making? If you can share some light on that.
See, we have KPMG like companies, they come and they give an auditing of our programs. And we have volunteer base. The main thing is a very enthusiastic group of volunteers.
Absolutely.
So they come up with the project side. I tell them, yes, go ahead. We don't think about whether we have resources to start it. We start the project, and resources just flow in.
Gurudev, I just wanted to share with the audience that India is one of the few countries which has social stock exchange, and Art of Living can greatly leverage. I think they need Art of Living, not the other way around, but it's a very well designed platform created by the Indian government, and there's a company called Equip Social Impact Technologies which monitors this, and so you can host projects there, and people can invest from all over the world, where they get annual reports like they invest in a Google or a Microsoft in capital markets. And that's a conversation for another time, but I just want to, for the benefit of our audience, share that here.
We are working in almost all the states in India.
Right.
And with the volunteer force, what the government would have achieved with several thousand crores, our people have done it in, maybe 1/10, some places even 1/100th of that cost. Very low cost, and people have put their heart and soul. And volunteering is a very big benefit, Many of the river rejuvenation projects that we have taken, with a very small investment, big success has been found. Yeah. Because there is passion, you see.
Right.
Passion to do it, and there is an ownership among volunteers. I just mentioned I want to have these 5 different type of panchvatis all over. In just no time, 19,000 villages they've achieved, they succeeded in just a week's time. So that spirit of service, the spirit to do something for the service project is very high, and it's very much yielding for the social good, for the larger good.
Sure. So you're so iconic in your impact, not just in spirituality and yoga and meditation. You're also a spiritual diplomat. And I think there's a lesson for all the diplomats in the world, all the politicians in the world. Your impact in Colombia, in Iraq, your global peacekeeping efforts are simply stunning. So what in spirituality gives you that edge to be better than all the political leaders in conquering peace?
I think it is very natural. I don't assume any role, but I just keep doing what I feel I should be doing.
Sure.
You just listen to your heart, your inner voice, and then wherever it is needed, wherever God sends you, you go there and you do that, accomplish that job.
Just go with the flow.
Yeah, go with the flow. And when you say, and when you feel that the whole world is one family, and if part of our own globe is in trouble, you don't just sit and say, I have nothing to do with it. You naturally jump into it and see what you can.
Sure. Coming to think of one family, the geopolitical situation today is so chaotic. It's never perfect, but it's less perfect now than before. So how do you see this geopolitical scene emerging, and where do you see India's position readjusting in the whole gamut of China, US, Japan?
Now tell me when this was not there.
Exactly.
It was there before World War I. It was there after World War I.
Right.
It was during World War I there were geopolitical issues. After that, in a period of Cold War, era of Cold War, there were all this. That's why non-aligned movement started.
Right.
The purpose of non-aligned movement was not to be in any one side, being neutral, but these changes are part of the world. And we don't need to be totally disturbed by it. At the same time, we can't ignore it also. So here you need really wise people to move forward with wisdom, not just go emotionally or for cheap tactics of pleasing one's vote bank or things like that. That's where we make blunders. We think about short-term gains and how we can encash on the conflicts, and we try to, as you say, fishing in the troubled waters. This sort of thing that some people do is not good. Actually, that causes more harm to them on a long run. On the other hand, human values should reign most. Corruption and self-centered glorification and all these issues have really taken a toll on the geopolitics today. I think we need more wise people to bridge us.
Gurudev, I have a few questions, which is called a rapid fire round, but you know, your witty answers that you give in several platforms is something that we are all looking forward to have that, and I'll start that. What is one thing people chase all their lives, but you believe that they already have?
Listen, why you are so bent upon the one thing or the 3 things you must remember and the 5 things you should never forget? I mean, life is so diverse and so rich. You don't have to narrow down everything to one thing, right?
Right. So
What do you say?
Keep it wide and broad.
Yeah. No, you go to a pharmacy and ask them, just give me one thing that can keep me healthy all my life. What would the pharmacist say?
So in the 1 minute I have, I'm trying to get that one thing out of you.
Okay, keep smiling.
Keep smiling. Yeah, there you go. If calmness had a superpower version, what would that superhero be called?
He will not mind what one calls them.
He will not mind what one's called. Absolutely. What's in a name? And a misconception about a spiritual leader that makes you secretly laugh.
Every misconception about spiritual leader makes me laugh loud publicly. No secret.
Absolutely. Yeah. And do you have a mantra for a world leader today? Because in the global scheme of things, we see you making such a huge impact beyond all the elected leaders. No bias for or against anybody. What's your advice to political leaders?
Know that your time on the planet is very short and limited. Do the best you can before you exit.
So well said. Thank you for that message. And do you have a message for Gen Z on how to incorporate spirituality in their day-to-day lives?
Know that spirituality makes you rich, stable and happier. That's it.
Yeah, spirituality leads to richness, and we will take away that lesson as well from this podcast. Thank you for that. And if stress were a person and you had to give it life advice, what would you tell it?
Stress.
Yeah, if it was a person and if you had to give life advice, what would you tell it?
There is a grave waiting for you. Go there quickly.
That is so awesome. Gurudev, your wisdom just is so baffling. It's an experience that I'll cherish for my lifetime. And this is a little personal, bear with me for this. What's your most un-Gurudev guilty pleasure that people wouldn't believe?
First of all, you should ask me whether I am guilty of anything. This question is like asking someone, when did you stop beating your wife? So if you have any guilt in you, you can't be a guru.
Right, absolutely.
Guilt and guru are poles apart.
Sure.
Yeah, next.
And you have a meditation message for the meditation day?
World Meditation Day, just join the group meditation. We will be having several times that day. It will make an impact in the world when everyone is meditating together, billions around the world.
Sure.
Because we will make an impact, will create the waves of positivity around the world.
And you're coming to New York for the World Meditation Day.
I will be in Geneva, also in New York, both the places.
Wonderful. Yeah. And what's your message for New Year 2026? It's around the corner.
You are new also. Know that your spirit is ever new, and yet you are very ancient. So you can achieve a lot. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Gurudev, and we need blessings for Light to Lighten, and personally, this has been a wonderful conversation. And from Light to Lighten, we sign off with such interesting and impactful lessons that we've learned in just 20 minutes from Gurudev. These are life lessons that no university can teach, and we will get back to Art of Living for sustained learning, Gurudev. Thank you so much.